Hey friends, funstock.co.uk is the UK and Europe's #1 retro game store. Funstock.co.uk has a special offer just for you. Use the discount code PLANET to receive 5% off any online order on funstock.co.uk. That's right, 5% off a Sega Ultimate Portable, a Super Retro Trio, or even a Neo Geo X. Use the discount code PLANET, that's PLANET, to get 5% off any order on funstock.co.uk.
Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's play on.
Hey, listen.
I'm Commander Shepard.
Let's do this.
I think we're just getting started.
I think there's some school children down the way you can go and prank.
Hello, and again.
Get over here!
Welcome, everybody, to episode 61 of the Play On Podcast on PlanetArbitrary.com. I am your host, Pat B. of Pat's Retro Video Game Reviews on PlanetArbitrary.com. And joining me, as always...
Anthony.
Good one. Good.
Good job.
I'm glad you saw
Who are
that.
you?
Catwoman.
Good one.
Which Catwoman, though?
Whatever the pop
Halle
vinyl I have.
Berry.
Are you the Halle Berry Catwoman, or are
Oh.
you the...
I wanted to be my pop vinyl because she has a sparkly outfit.
Oh, Pop Vinyl
That's Anne Hathaway.
Catwoman?
She's
Anne Hathaway
adorable.
Catwoman.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure? I thought she was
No, the one you have pop violin is from The Dark Knight Rises.
sparkly?
Yeah.
I thought she was
Yeah.
from the old TV show Adam
no,
West.
No, because her
No.
costume would have been purple then, I think, or something.
No, I think hers was black.
Was black.
I think it was black.
This
It was
one's
black. It was
definitely from
it was
Batman.
black and sparkly. I think who was that? God damn it!
I don't know. Not Adam West.
No, not Adam West.
No, but I saw something on Reddit one time that because apparently Adam West was like a huge slut when he was on that
Shocking.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was a screenshot of one of the scenes, and one of the prisoners, like he had like captured some woman as a prisoner, and so her prison number was on her shirt, but the way that it was her chest measurement, her waist measurement, and her
Wow.
butt measurement. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Behind
Good
the
job, Adam
scenes.
West.
Yeah. Sneaky.
Wow.
Sneaky.
And this is Anthony and Annie that are with
Yes.
us.
Hi.
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 It's
What do we got going on today, Pat?
Well, we got some stuff. It's kind of, there's stuff going on. There's some big stuff. We're going to be talking about the Microsoft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys had a big week.
Team M.
Lots of stuff going on. But, other than that, we're just we're in a bit of a lull right now. Because February is when a lot of stuff is going to be coming, and then March, and then eventually Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC. So we'll get Grand Theft Auto 5 all over again.
C2E2.
Yeah, and C2E2. We got some exciting stuff with Planet Arbitrary and C2E2 coming up. Be sure to tune in to future episodes of Play On between now and C2E2 in Chicago. If you're not familiar with C2E2, it is the Comic Book and Entertainment Expo in Chicago, Illinois. In April, what year is it? What year is it in now? It's fifth year?
Fifth or sixth?
Five.
Fifth or sixth
Yeah,
year.
probably five.
One of them.
It's a very large convention, and it keeps getting bigger in Chicago.
If you don't live in Chicago, you should come to Chicago for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Oh,
that good.
absolutely.
It's that
And
good.
if you don't
Yeah.
live in the United States, then you should come to the United States and come to Chicago.
And make it part of your trip of seeing the country.
Yeah, forget the
but-
Statue of
but-
Liberty.
Yeah.
That's not
Mount
as
Rushmore.
fun.
Forget
as
the
going to
bean.
C2E2.
Forget the bean. Don't see
yeah,
the
yeah.
bean.
got
That's
all that
stupid.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
whatever. The bean is dumb.
Yeah. So come to C2E2. We're going to be doing some exciting stuff on PlanetArbitrary.com with C2E2 coming up. So we've got some exciting announcements on future episodes that we'll have for you guys. C2E2 is where we talk to Bruce Boxleitner
Yes.
and his creative staff of Lantern City.
And
was so cool.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
yeah, the
we met.
beef.
Yeah, the beef.
Yeah. If you asked me to recap that interview right now, I couldn't.
I can tell you the good stuff.
Okay, because he was talking about some like the weirdest shit.
Talking about his girlfriend's comic at the time.
Yeah, but still, even when he made sentences, they made no sense.
He was very coked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that was prime beef.
Yeah.
That was prime the beef.
Prime beef.
That was
yeah.
prime beef right
That
there.
was, that was
He
great.
he had his Transformers money.
That was my first
He did.
first
he did.
C2E2 right there.
Oh, what a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I met .com
.com
from
from-
30 Rock.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We all met .com
Yeah.
from 30 Rock. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I mean, there lots of people. You guys got my copy of Top Gun for NES,
Oh.
signed,
yeah.
Val.
signed by Val Kilmer,
Val
signed by
Kilmer.
Iceman.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So C2E2, it's a great convention. Lots of fun stuff goes on there. Cosplayers, of course, all of that. Plus, there's tons of comic book artists that are there. Entertainment guests are there. People from The Walking Dead, Doctor Who. I mean, you name it, they're there. So you can meet all those people, get stuff signed. Stan Lee is going to be at
Yes.
C2E2 this year.
Yes.
So if you're a big Stan Lee fan, you can go and get some stuff signed.
We're getting his autograph this year because I'm afraid he's
sure.
on his way out.
Listen,
Yeah.
the man's 92.
Yeah, he's not. We got to get his autograph.
As long as he's here, just he
Milking
seems
it.
to be attending a lot of
Yeah.
conventions. So
That was Doug's theory, is that he knows that he doesn't much time left, so he wants to get out as much as he can to get autographs and get the fans. So
yeah,
a
that's
good man.
great.
He's a
yeah,
good man.
He's solid. He's solid. He's a great
Solid.
man. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned to PlanetArbitrary.com to play on and to Game Classy. There's going to be some exciting stuff with C2E2 coming up. So, and we'll be sure to let you guys know when. But there's going to be some good stuff for you guys too.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, C2E2 stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of things. If you're in Chicago or around Chicago, or you're just a huge indie game fan, Itty Bitty Bash is coming up in Chicago next month, February 25th. You can go to that. It's a big indie game developer bash, basically. I went to Bit Bash last fall.
Yeah.
Adam, friend of the podcast and life friend.
My friend.
We went there. We got to mess around with Oculus Rift a little bit. Got to play all kinds of new games. So it's great. They're throwing another little party like that called Itty Bitty Bash in Chicago on February 25th at the Bottom Lounge in Chicago. So be sure to check that out. I'll be going to it. Adam's going to it again. You guys are going to IndianaCon?
Yeah, we are.
The Indianapolis Con
Because Khal Drogo is going to be there.
from Game of Thrones.
And Annie and Anthony love Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Really?
We love it.
Do you have all the pop vinyls for Game of Thrones?
Okay, so almost. We're only missing 3. We ordered the last 3 from Australia. And and 2 of them one's on pre-order. One of them is coming. The third one discontinued or sold
Back
out or
ordered.
something.
Oh.
Yeah, so what the fuck? But
There
almost.
are 3 grown adults in the studio right now that have pre-orders for figures, for small figurines right now.
Oh my god. What are yours? What are you looking for?
Amiibos. I've
yeah.
got
Oh.
2 Amiibos on pre-order with GameStop, and then I've got 1 on pre-order with Amazon.
Which
So,
ones?
The Amazon pre-order is for Toon Link, the Toon version from
Nice.
Wind Waker.
Nice.
And then the 2 from GameStop are Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
Good ones.
And when do they
Yeah.
release the new ones?
Everything is next month, though some things are starting to hit right now. I guess some retailers have broken street date. That's what they're saying. So
Ooh.
Bowser's are showing
Oh,
up
jeez.
and things like that.
This is
I
the next
know.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things I was going to talk about. Since we're on figures, I'll just
Yeah.
Roll into
throw it out.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I'll just roll into it.
Nice Patway there.
Patway. Yeah, dust off a Patway.
Just off that one.
There's Amiibo news. The Mario Party 10 Amiibos are available for pre-order on Amazon.com right now. These are the special set of re-release. It's going to be, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, and Toad. Nice. They're being re-released in a special Super Mario World Edition Amiibo pack.
Cool.
They're available for pre-order, and they're already starting to sell out. So if you go onto Nintendo UK websites, and you can pre-order there, some of them are already gone. Wow.
So you've pre-ordered all of those?
No. I'm going to wait for those at the store. I mean, the Mega Man and Sonic I really, really want, and the
Yeah.
Toon Link I really want. But after that, the only one I'm really going to go after is probably Ness from Earthbound. I know there's going to be people that I have been talking to over the past few weeks about Earthbound and my feelings about Earthbound. If you don't know about Earthbound, it is a Super Nintendo game. It is a RPG game that some believe, well, not some, a large number of people. It's very influential in the RPG scene. It did a lot of things differently that a lot of RPGs hadn't done before, and it influenced future RPG development. And the way that the tone of a game is handled and whatnot. People think it's just the quirkiest, sweetest, cutest, but complex, but so funny, and the humor's on such a different level type of game. And I am just not a fan of Earthbound. I'm just not.
Then why do you want the
To each their
amiibo?
own.
Because I fucking want it, so I can just have him in his stupid face and just look at him and be like, "Your game sucks, but I own you, and I'm gonna display you and just look at you, but
stupid
never do
face.
anything with you." Yeah, no, I mean it's gonna be really hard to get. I know that, and that was my whole thing with amiibos was to buy them and just purely for collecting to see what they do. And I know the NES one is gonna be probably $100, and it's gonna
my
sell
God.
out immediately because people are fanatical about Earthbound. Earthbound, you know, my feelings about Earthbound right now, the way that game is, okay, when I was a kid and I had Super Nintendo, you know, and I had friends that had, you know, Genesis and other game systems, we would talk about video games. And lots of different games. It wasn't just Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. You know, we talked about lots of different games, and we were playing Master System and Atari and regular Nintendo, and we would talk about all kinds of games. Earthbound was one that never came up. It never came up. I used to see it in the stores, and the reason why it stuck out is because it came in a huge, oversized box. It came in a giant, huge box, and the graphics were very cool, and it said Earthbound on it and everything, and so it had a huge box, so it always stuck out, and I always looked at it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that game's all about.
Before that.
Yeah, exactly. And but I just never heard anyone talk about it. Not that, you know, in order for a game to be big, my friends have to be talking about it, but I just never heard it come up in conversation ever. I just never remember that. I remember seeing it, but I don't know anyone that's actually played it back when it was new. Lots of people did, though. And once game collecting really started to blow up in the early 2000s, and especially now, I mean, Earthbound is like a grail for a lot of people. And just finding the cartridge by itself is a big deal for people to find just the game loose. And if you find the box, holy shit. I mean, people lose their minds if they find the Earthbound box complete and in good shape.
Wasn't this what somebody asked you for the Secret Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
good
Secret
luck.
Santa, that was on their list, was Earthbound. And I mean, it's valuable. It's worth a lot of money, and finding it in the wild is difficult, though people have found it. So it's revered as this great game, and because I think its value, its monetary value, and its rarity, I think kind of helps it out. I think people like, oh, Earthbound's so good. Well, is it because the game is good, or is it because you found it and got to post it somewhere and say, look what I found, because everyone's trying to find
it's so hard to
Earthbound.
find,
Exactly. I know there's a lot of real fans of that game that play that game and love that game, and that's great. You know, I played that game on an emulator, a good one, a solid emulator, so I could experience Earthbound, because I don't have a copy of Earthbound, and I'm not going to go out of my way to find one. So I was like, well, I'm going to play this game and see what it's all about, and I just didn't have fun. I just didn't have fun, and I didn't have a lot of fun with a lot of Super Nintendo RPG games. So it just kind of was like, well, all right, I guess, you know, some people love it. You know, I love other different types of games that people don't like, you know, so this is just one of those games for certain people.
Yeah.
But if you speak out against Earthbound,
It's taboo.
you think Anita Sarkeesian's got it rough.
Oh, boy.
Say some shit about Earthbound and see what happens to you. Holy shit, I got lit up. People just, oh man, just tore me apart about Earthbound. So I'm just not a fan of it. I'm sorry.
Each their own.
Yeah,
Smart move, though.
Yeah, but I am going to buy the amiibo for Ness, who is the main character in that game.
Good.
So,
Congratulations,
yeah,
hopefully.
thank you. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. So yeah, new Mario Party 10 amiibos. They're
Nice.
out there.
Sweet.
Speaking of Nintendo,
Oh my god.
Annie.
Okay, so here's the story. So Anthony and I are obsessed with pop vinyls, and our friend Pat hooked us up with a generous fellow to trade. We set up a little trade. Okay, so he would give us the Batman-style Joker.
Oh yeah, that was
pop
the
vinyl.
one.
Limited edition.
That was the limited edition loot crate.
Super
That was a
rare.
loot crate.
Yeah, very rare to
Yeah.
find.
He's real cool. Okay, he's on our
So
show.
this trade happened.
Oh, it
yeah,
happened. It's done
he's
now.
here.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it took
We
a
got
while,
him.
but it's done.
Okay.
But it's done. So, so what he wanted was DS games, and so I had a handful, you know, like 3 or 4, and I was like, well, you know, the only ones I really want to keep are Mario and Sonic. So I was like, oh, I like Kirby, but I'll just get rid of him. It's fine. And so once I got rid of it, then it was like, well, I really want to play Kirby now. I really like Kirby.
And that was for the DS or for the 3DS? That Kirby.
DS, I think.
The original DS, okay.
Yeah. And I can't think of what the name of the game is, though.
Kirby something.
And now this one, we were out recently. This one's called Kirby Triple Deluxe.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Is
everything that I loved about the Kirby game that I don't have anymore is here, and more.
And more?
And more.
Ooh, wow.
Now, Triple Deluxe, was it like a 3-pack of like 3 different
I
Kirby
don't know
games,
yet.
or is it just a full-blown?
Right now I just play story mode. So,
Okay.
but there's other things that you could do,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really know what exactly got him to. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk, because somehow when you watch the first little animated thing, his house is on the ground, and then this big beanstalk grows, and then he's up in the sky, and there's all these like branches and that's how you get to the different levels, is you're on different like stalks of the beanstalk. And so in each level there's all these stages, and you have to find the sun stars, and the sun stars are hidden. It's so awesome. And all the little bad guys that you can find, you can eat up, and then you get their powers. Has it been
Nice.
like that in all of the Kirby games?
There was something like that in previous Kirby games, I
Yeah.
think. Not in the like the original, when I got in like the original Kirby game for original Game Boy. That's the one I played, and I feel like there was something that there was some element like that.
be
There was some
something.
Yeah.
part of gameplay that was like that.
Oh man.
Like I remember the Smash Brothers, when you were Kirby, you can inhale the other player and
Yes.
get, I think, some of their powers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember inhaling people and floating. Does it include like anything from like the Epic Yarn where like you can kind of use trails with the stylus?
No, Anthony was telling me about that one.
That one was fun.
It's
too.
not like that.
No. Okay.
Is this in 3D?
It could be if I wanted it to be.
But you don't play within 3D.
No.
Now, what are you gonna do to fix that?
Fix what?
The 3D situation. I mean, there is a device now where they.
I'm gonna get the new one.
You're gonna get the new one.
I'm sure.
You're
Is
gonna
that
get
what
the
you're
new
saying?
one.
I'm
Yes.
for damn sure. The reason I want to get the new one is because this screen is fine. The
Yeah.
machine works fine. It's perfect. I have dainty hands, so this really works out nicely. But I would like a bigger screen. That would be kind of nice. I just
This is
want one with
America,
the bigger.
isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Give me the XL.
Welcome to America. Yeah, I would like the XL, but the bigger one now. What were you saying? How much it costs?
Same price as the current XL.
No, weren't you saying that it would cost less if I waited to get the new one than to
Yeah,
get?
because the current XL is $200. The
And then-
new 3DS XL is $200. But there
Oh.
is a new 3DS, which I think has a bigger screen than that one.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
does.
$150.
Yeah.
So either
So-
way, you get a bigger screen for the same or cheaper.
Okay.
Which comes back to Nintendo needs to do something about the way they name their devices. So we because there's
can
new and
differentiate.
new and new, and they really stressed that new was going to be
At
a
least it
part of the
wasn't
name.
3DSU.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why they called it Triple Deluxe 3D. Kirby
Oh,
3D.
wow.
Oh.
Look at you, honey.
What a
Look
stupid
at you.
marketing technique.
Jeez,
Triple Deluxe.
3D.
Yeah, but whatever. It's amazing. I love it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun. I bring it to work and play it on my lunch break.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
You have to do what you have to do.
I mean, yeah. There's one really annoying girl that I work with who always sits in the break room. And our break room is like, the size of a napkin holder. It's so little.
Yeah.
And if you want to go in there and just relax, you can't, because you're going to get what's called Livy-fied, because Livy
Oh, okay.
she doesn't fucking shut up.
Does she listen to the podcast?
No.
Oh,
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
not yet.
Sorry, Livy. So all I want to do is sit in there and play my game. And she's like, so what are you making? I'm like, soup. Okay, well, what kind of soup? Blah, 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 blah.
So you
Fucking shut
just
up.
want to tune out.
I should put on headphones.
Bring your Beats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beats by Shroot.
Beats by Nintendo.
Yeah. So, point of the story, for sure I'm getting a new DS. For sure I'm going to play this Kirby all the time.
Nice. That's all.
I'm a
I mean,
simple
you
gal.
are on the podcast where we had to discuss and figure out ways where we could play games in bed
Yeah.
without disturbing our spouses.
That's the point
So
of our lives we're
That
at.
is
Yeah.
exactly you are where you need to be.
Yeah. Well, and have you woken up because I played it in the morning?
Not at all.
Because,
Do you put your headphones on?
no, I just don't have the sound on.
See, that'd be the ultimate tragedy right there. Is that Anthony can't sleep a wink if he hears any button clicking at all.
That wouldn't bother
Well,
me at
Anthony
all.
can't sleep at nighttime, and I can't sleep in the morning.
Okay.
So he will play like till, I don't know,
Yeah.
all hours of the night. And then I'll wake up at like 5 and I'm like, shh. We're playing Kirby. That's Sonic.
I just recently fell asleep playing Command and Conquer on my couch up in my gaming area.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, I was just tired. I mean, it was like 2:00 in the morning. I fell asleep, and then I woke up and my army had been defeated. And
Have you seen?
it was at my death toll. I was just like, oh, I just got fucking
damn it.
trashed
How do
on
you,
this
do you
game.
play with like your mouse on the side and a keyboard on your lap?
Yeah.
So Razer, did you see what they're coming out with now?
No.
It's a keyboard mouse specifically for like couch gaming.
Uh-huh.
And the keyboard, imagine a normal size keyboard, and then it folds in half, and the other part that unfolds is like a pad for a mouse, and it has a specific mouse you can use with it. And it's designed in a way that when you're using the Surface, you put it on your lap, you've got your keyboard, the little spot for your mouse, and then when you're not using the mouse, you can fold that piece back under and have like for your media center, like, you know, a small keyboard.
No.
Can't do it?
No.
Gotta have the
I am
freedom.
Why?
I am so used to just having a keyboard in my lap and a mouse next to me, you know, on some sort of surface. Like my mouse right now works on my couch. So I mean, but like I try to use a different, like I have a little box up there that I use as like because it's a sturdy little tiny box that's, you know, sturdy enough where my hand and my arm I don't crush it, but my mouse tracks really nice on it.
Nice.
So that's what I've been using. I'm just used to that, and I'm able to position myself where I'm totally comfortable because I've just been used to doing that for so long. That if I use any other kind of solution for that, I just feel I wouldn't be as comfortable.
work,
I'd just
yeah.
be longing for my old setup. So
You know what I tried recently? Because when I do the game streaming, most of the games I use the controller and it's fine. But there are some games where you can only use the mouse.
yes,
Like there's an RPG called Divinity Original Sin I started playing, and it's all mouse based. And I didn't want to use the trackpad because that's annoying. And my mouse, they don't really work in bed because I have to play games in bed.
yeah,
So I bought one of those. I always thought they were for old people. They're like mouses that have the big ball on the top.
yeah,
Big scrolly ball.
Yeah.
And that's taken some getting used to, but that's nice because you could play that shit anywhere.
yeah.
Just move that little ball around. It's like the arcade.
I used to like
Golden
at
tee.
friend's house. I used to pry that thing out of there. And
Oh, you just rip it right. Yeah, you just rip it right off and clean it. It's brilliant.
Pat was a dick when he was a
yeah,
kid.
Yeah, you're a huge dick.
You know, reach behind and pull someone's keyboard connection out, and go home.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, sucker.
I've run into that a little bit with the game streaming because I've been playing some roller derby, robot roller derby disco dodgeball.
Okay.
Wow.
Have you seen this? It's on Steam Early Access right now. It's $10.
Wow.
I was watching a quick look of it on Giant Bomb, and it's very Tron-esque.
Oh,
so
perfect.
it drew me in immediately.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah, this
because I
is-
remember
yeah.
thinking this looks like Tron. Pat would like this.
Yeah, so I've been playing that, and the controls for the Shield Portable on game streaming, it doesn't transfer over. I cannot use the controls. It
Interesting.
wants to use the mouse. So like if I use the touch screen,
Right.
I can control some of the mouse features on
Oh,
the screen.
bummer.
So I need to sync up a mouse to the
So they
portable
don't
to the
have
Shield
controllers
Portable.
for it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, that game has got probably the best soundtrack of any video game
Oh, really?
ever.
Wow.
Well, it's some of the music I texted you about.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta listen to that soundtrack.
Yeah. Adhesive Wombat is one of the DJs or composers that's on the soundtrack. There's a bunch of other people, but man, some of the
good
best
shit.
music ever. Just robots going around these very Tron-esque looking arenas playing dodgeball,
Awesome.
and it is just so much fun to play. The best. It's got to be the best party game. I mean, that would be awesome with like 8 people that like Tron and video games.
That's awesome.
So
It's made for you specifically.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I've been playing that, and I still have been playing Command & Conquer and a lot of Street Fighter.
Gotta go retro.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome. I replayed all the Batman games through
nice.
Steam, like Arkham or Arkham Asylum, City, and Ordon.
Oh, nice.
Just-
How
I
was
don't know
that?
why.
Just did it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I have all these new games to play. Nah, I'm just gonna play Batman.
Yeah.
I was on a Batman kick because I got the sweet ass Lego set for Christmas. It was the
Oh my
tumbler from the
God.
Batman.
Oh yeah. Is
So,
it together?
yeah,
have you completed
you'll have
it?
to go
Oh
check
yeah.
that out. So that
I
got me in
need
the
to-
Batman mood. So I was watching the movies every night, putting it together, and then I started playing the games.
Oh, you were watching the
Games are
movies.
so good. Yeah,
You were
I'm a
watching it
huge,
while you were putting it
huge nerd.
together.
And he's like, I'm gonna fall asleep, so I'd be putting together
I mean,
the
it's
tumbler
6:30. It's time for
while
you to
watching
go
the
to
Batman
sleep.
movies. But I started backwards because I just wanted to watch Dark Knight Rises because I hadn't seen it in a long time, and then I ended up watching them all backwards. That's how I roll.
That's awesome.
It's hard to be me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Struggle was real.
The struggle is real.
So,
Let's see.
Annie, how many out of 5 Planet Arbitraries? What do you give Kirby?
5.5.
5 and a half?
5.5.
5
What?
out of 5?
Off the scale for
Listen,
arbitrary?
perfect Annie game?
Yeah, I'm easy to please because it's
No,
not.
you're not easy to please.
Oh, okay then. then yeah.
Because you hated what's that one game?
Oh, man.
Papers, Please.
Papers, Please.
Yeah, you won the biggest surprise Arby
Yeah.
during the Arby Awards.
I really hated
So this is a 5 out of 5 for Annie.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's because it's not. Sometimes when I play games, because I'm not very good at playing games, I feel like it's just too stressful when I'm just not good at it. Like when I play Crash Bandicoot and I can't get past the stupid guy on the one thing, and I get so mad. I'm
Yeah,
like,
well,
this
you
is
know-
not worth the stress that it's creating.
But when we tested the Retron 3, you seemed fairly aggressive on Sonic.
Yeah, she
and
is aggressive
pretty
on Sonic.
laser focused. So you
Well, that's
seemed
because like that's
pretty
one of like
good.
the 3 games I know.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I was like, you're pretty good.
I mean, if we played Sonic 2, I've been playing that since I was like 9. So, like I've been playing that for a solid 21 years. Like,
Better know all those secrets.
I know all the secrets.
yeah.
But this one is like, it's a pretty easy game, which I like, and it's just it's not frustrating.
It's just
like
fun.
it is fun. It's fun. It's just mindless. I like that.
That's
It's just-
awesome.
Yeah, and he's real cute.
He's real cute.
He's real little.
You need to find a Kirby pop vinyl.
Oh,
my
shit.
god!
Now
It's
you
got
put the
it-
thought in the head.
Yeah.
Game
Well,
changer.
there is a Kirby amiibo you could get.
I know. I did see
Might
that.
be your first
Yeah.
amiibo purchase.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Because if you're getting the new 3DS, it has
the
the
capabilities.
NFC thing in the touchpad where you could drop Kirby down and he will join you.
Shit.
Oh my
in your
gosh, he'll
game.
join me.
Yeah, and that's your Kirby. You will rank up that Kirby amiibo. So you could take him anywhere and put him on any device that has a little NFC reader and pop down your Kirby, and all of your Kirby data
Carry
will.
that shit around your neck.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh man. My students would be so jealous.
just
You
stroll
little
in,
bitches don't have Kirby, and I do.
just stroll in with a Kirby necklace, and don't even
My
acknowledge
Kirby.
it. Don't even acknowledge
Yeah.
it.
My coworkers already think that I'm the biggest fucking dork. They're like, no, it's cool. You're a nerd, right? I mean, like, let's ask Annie because she knows. Like,
Yeah.
she's a nerd. She
But
knows
you do
nerd
know,
things.
so-
Like, which I do, but come on.
Do you get Doctor Who questions directed at you?
Sometimes I do, and I'm like, listen, just because just because I wear
Doctor Who's
colored
so
Converse to
boring,
match
by
my
the way.
outfit every day,
Yeah,
doesn't
so
mean I know
boring.
everything about every dorky thing.
I tried Doctor Who. It's just too boring.
It's
Yeah,
boring.
I
don't
tried
like
Doctor Who when I was 5, and it was on PBS.
Yeah.
and I considered it a Star Wars ripoff.
Oh, well, not even.
And I was just like, fuck this show.
Yeah, it just sucks.
It's weird for no
it. 5-year-old
reason.
Pat is like, fuck this
I know
show.
we're in the minority too.
Yeah,
Like, I know
oh,
it's like
we
the
are.
biggest thing ever.
Oh, we totally are. I have no desire to watch Doctor Who
I
at
cannot get
all
into it.
anymore. I was like, it's a weird ass PBS show. That's all I've known of it for years. And I was like, there's like droids in it, and they're cheesy
there's anything
looking
you could
Star
think of,
Wars
it's in there.
droids. So I couldn't get over. I was so Star Wars jaded. I saw Doctor Who. I was like, fuck this fucking show.
I don't like jumping into a show after it's had. I mean,
20 years on the air.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 50 years.
And a lot of that went on. A lot of that's going on.
Oh.
Right now. I mean,
Yeah.
people are just discovering Doctor
yeah,
Who,
yeah.
and maybe only know like the new stuff, and going back. I mean, like there's like I think Joe is a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, he's a
And
diehard Doctor Who.
he's-
There's some
he's
good
way into,
articles
like-
on Planet Arbitrary from him about it.
Oh yeah, well that's right. He covered all of the Doctor Who on his spoiler heavy reviews. Where Joe's more into like the Doctor Who recovery project, where they find like lost episodes that were sent to some
He's a
third
hipster.
world country that were replayed on little local television stations, and it's a big deal when they find like a lot of these episodes that they only had one copy of. And
Do you ever see Galaxy Quest?
is that
With
the Tim Allen?
and
Yeah.
When the aliens see his show and they think it's historical documents. That's what I imagine people watching Doctor Who. They're like, the historical documents of Doctor Who. Like, getting these weird fucking episodes overseas.
The one thing I've been really curious about, and I've gone down the YouTube hole with this, is that all of the radio transmissions that have happened on Earth travel outwards into space.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching a guy, a scientist, I hope he was, he seemed fairly knowledgeable, said that at a certain point in space, you will catch up to radio transmissions that were broadcast way back when radio
Oh
first
my
started
God.
transmitting.
What?
That you could hear those.
Oh, I'm sure, because
So,
it goes infinite.
It's
right?
a sphere around the planet of old radio transmissions that are still just going out there in space.
That's
fucked
creepy.
up.
And I just I've been kind of looking at, has anyone figured, are they looking into ways to like maybe tap into that and listen to it if they could capture it?
Creepy.
Is it cool?
That's really, I mean,
that's
creepy.
my kind of YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
Pat,
how
you
I
listen
YouTube.
to the creepiest YouTubes.
Speaking of, today is it's your day. This is the anniversary of the Challenger.
Is today the
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. I'm
He
not
laughs.
laughing.
Yeah.
He
I'm
laughs.
only
Pat
bringing it up
did.
because Pat is fascinated with the audio files from the Challenger explosion.
Well, not the audio. Well, yes, the
from
audio.
the control room.
Yeah, well, it was the Discovery, I think, that disintegrated when it was coming back during re-entry.
Yes.
The audio files from that, the actual mission control audio from that, is fascinating to listen to. I mean, it's very morbid, I understand, but it's interesting to
It's
hear
fascinating science. Yeah.
how they, because what's creepy about it is that the video that I watch in particular about that incident shows a timeline of events, like at what point the shuttle is starting to experience trouble, and then they show all the video that people got from the ground where you could see the shuttle coming in and seeing little bits of debris breaking away, and they identify those pieces, and so they synced it up to the mission control audio, so when they're trying to talk to these people, they're showing what's actually happening to the shuttle.
Oh my
And
God, that's like my
it's-
nightmare.
And it's silent. And it's silent the
yeah.
entire time.
Creepy.
There's one like small little blurb of radio transmission from the shuttle, and and then there's a lot of distortion.
Because they
on the
know what's happening.
Yeah, there's
so
a
it's
lot of
like, oh,
distortion on the
shit.
radio that kind of lines up with when some of the debris was coming away. So it's creepy because you can't see it, but you know in your head what's happening to it. That's why it's freaky.
What's fascinating about, I can understand why you're listening to it, is because NASA is so known for being so double, triple, quadruple check everything they do, right?
Yes.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Everything is planned out to the tiniest degree, and they just know exactly how things are going to go. And like when something like that happens, it's just shocking because you're like, you of all,
I trusted you,
Yeah, you
NASA.
of all people, like.
Oh, absolutely.
It's horrifying.
Well, and the Challenger, watching the investigation video of the Challenger, because they show camera angles that I never saw, until I saw this particular video. I mean, that thing was almost spinning out of control by the time it broke apart, and it actually didn't even explode.
Yeah.
It just broke apart from the boosters along the side and then the main fuel tank coming apart.
Yeah.
And it just lost its aerodynamics, and because of the forces, it just ripped the thing apart. But when you see different camera angles, I mean, you see those boosters, as the hole wears through on one of the boosters, it burns a hole through the fuel tank. The other booster starts to come loose. I mean, that whole thing was shaking apart halfway up, and you can see it on the video where we're normally used to seeing the standard, the classic clip of the Challenger,
right?
From the one side, and then it breaks apart and the camera zooms out. But there's other angles that show it coming apart as it's going up, and it's really it's fascinating to watch.
Moment of silence for the Challenger people.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so we'll move on. Nintendo sales figures really quick. Quarter 3 sales have been released. 1.9 million new 3DS models have been
Quarter
sold.
3?
Yeah. Q3.
Not Q4?
Q3.
Huh.
They recently had a financial meeting, financial briefing that Nintendo had. And announced 1.9 million new 3DS models have been sold. And they announced the lifetime sales total of the Wii U. What do you think that's at?
Of the Wii U?
The Wii U, lifetime.
Dollar-wise? Or
Units sold.
25.
25 million?
No.
25,000.
25.
25.
I'm going to say 25,000.
25,000?
Yeah. No.
Who's closer?
250,000.
250,000?
Yeah.
And you're going with how many?
25.
25? Well, Anthony's much closer, but still very, very far away.
Oh my God.
Lifetime sales of the Wii U up to date is 9.2 million units.
What?
I
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
9.2 million
I don't believe
units.
it.
Yeah, lifetime sold. And they sold 1.9 million just during the third quarter, during Q3.
That's when all the cool games started coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Amiibos, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers.
Kirby.
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Motherfucking Kirby.
Stuff like that, yeah.
That's fascinating because I was just reading about the Xbox. Microsoft had their whatever, where they financial fucking thing, whatever, financial conference call. 6.6 million units of Xbox consoles for the holiday for quarter 4.
Quarter 4.
Which is weird, but they don't break it out between the Xbox One or the Xbox 360. That's both.
It's just okay.
That's how they get you.
6.6 million, but we know that the Xbox One outsold PlayStation 4 for those 2 months for
Okay.
November, December. So
Yeah, they did, Xbox did have a good.
good for them. They're
Yeah.
starting to creep back.
Yeah, they're getting back into it. Speaking of Microsoft and your guys,
Yeah.
Anthony,
So I'll tell you,
big news.
some big news. James and I at work are big nerds. Sometimes we'll take our lunch break and watch video conferences of technology stuff, Apple, Microsoft, whatever's happening. That's cool. So we watched the Windows 10 one that was last week. And so the only reason I'm going to go over the Windows 10 is because they talked about Xbox during Windows 10. So Windows 10 is coming out this fall. It's a free upgrade for anybody who has Windows 7 or Windows 8. First time in history that a Windows OS is going to be free.
I saw that's valid for a year.
And it's valid for a year. So
That's
you have
crazy.
a year if you have those current operating systems. You have a year to get that for free. So obviously they're competing with Apple, which has always been releasing their OS updates for free once you buy a Mac. And they're trying to put a sense of urgency to get people to do the upgrade so they're not lingering for years and years. And they're officially going to stop supporting Windows 7, or they have already. So it's cool all in general. It's basically a cleaned up version of Windows 8. It addresses the things that people hate most about it, like the start menu. Like there's a start menu again, but it kind of combines the best of both worlds of touch screen and all that. The whole thing with Microsoft, which I really like what they're doing, is Windows 10 is designed to work as Windows 10 on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone. It's the same operating system through all three.
Smart.
So does that mean even things like Java and all of that will be supported?
Supposedly.
Flash.
Like they showed Windows 10 on a computer, and then they showed the exact same thing on the tablet. It's like this, but the interface changes automatically ever so slightly when you have a tablet to be for a touchscreen. But with the click of a button, it goes to normal desktop Windows that you're used to.
Okay.
So what's cool about it is they're, unlike Apple, for example, where they have a specific operating system for their Macs and then they have iOS for the phones. This is something that's a universal thing for Windows now. And so what's exciting about that is that you could start seeing apps that are made for, app developers can make a game for Windows 10 that will work now on potentially all three platforms, a tablet, a phone, and the computer. So it's really cool. So to that end, then at some point, Phil Spencer from Xbox came in, started talking about Xbox was going to become an integral part of Windows 10. And so what's cool is there's a couple of features that they talked about. One is right now in the Xbox One, they have that game DVR, where it automatically is recording 30 seconds, the past 30 seconds of whatever you're doing in any game. So if something happens and you're like, oh, that's really cool, and I want to watch that, you say Xbox record that, and it automatically captures the past 30 seconds, which is neat versus other options because there are plenty of computer options now where you can record what you're playing. But if you just want to record something that happened, right? Like you're like, oh, this really cool thing happened that you weren't planning on. Now it's going to do that. So Windows 10 is going to operate. It's going to have a built-in Xbox feature just like that. It's going to record the past 30 seconds of any of the game you play through Steam, through whatever it is, Solitaire, any of those games on the computer. It will record, and you can share same like you can on the Xbox.
Okay.
And they're integrating the Xbox Live Marketplace or Xbox Live into the Windows 10, so that if I'm playing on my Xbox One, it'll show me all of your game clips that you had from Windows. So that was just a cool little thing. And he actually demonstrated it by playing a Steam game, by playing Civilization, showing how the recording works, going into his feed and, sharing the clip. So that was really cool. To that end, big news, they're going to start allowing games that Xbox One players can actually play multiplayer with Windows 10 players.
That's right. I saw that.
Huge thing.
Yeah,
that is finally,
huge.
Like you can have the first game that's going to officially support it is Fable Legends, but I don't think it'll be long before most multiplayer games will allow both.
That was smart. Start with a game that most people play.
Yeah, exactly. Start with something big.
Yeah.
So that's huge though, because that's basically Microsoft saying we want to take the stance that we want PC players to be able to play with Xbox One players, which is really that's huge. That's finally something that's needed to happen for so long. So that was big news. The other thing is that they are working on their own game streaming technology. So any Windows 10 device, a phone, a tablet, or the computer, laptop, whatever, will be able to stream from the Xbox One to any Windows 10 device. So there's an I play a lot of games through Steam, right, through the computer. But let's say there's an Xbox One exclusive game that I want to play, and I don't want to sit in the living room. I want to play it in bed. Same thing now. I can just stream it from the Xbox to anything that has Windows 10 on it.
Yeah, but you have a Mac.
I have a Mac. It's not really going to apply to me, unless I get a Windows 10 tablet or something.
Right.
But I'm not going to go down that path again because I learned my lesson with the Shield tablet.
Yes.
But it's brilliant for people like my friend James at work, who James has a child. He doesn't have as much time to play in front of his TV. When he is using the Xbox, his wife wants to watch TV through it. Now he has the ability to play games to a laptop, play in bed, play whatever, so he can actually experience games now. And I'm sure there are a lot of people in that same position. Right?
Yeah, I am one of those.
So he's psyched. What I'm even more excited about. So that's exciting, right? The streaming from Xbox One to a Windows 10 device. They're also doing the reverse, where a PC can stream to an Xbox One. So now
that is cool.
Not only can I have Steam streaming through my MacBook right in bed, if I do want to play it on the TV, they will allow that so that it can just stream to the Xbox One. Fucking brilliant.
What?
Yes. Great idea, Microsoft.
Yeah.
And Xbox One is going to get Windows 10. So, like, they're unifying all their operating systems. They're creating an ecosystem. They're kind of merging, the Xbox brand into Windows 10. They're, like, making it the platform. It's nice.
It's a smoothing out of technology.
Yeah, it's making things less chaotic and, like, confusing to people.
Yeah.
Like,
stuff just works. I mean, I think we're at that point now in a digital society where we can hold one device and say, I want this to do things to that other device.
Exactly.
And we just expect that. Like, that's not a feature. Like, and I know there's a lot of development that has to go into that, but I think we're at that point now. And now tech companies like Microsoft and everybody else, I think this is, we're seeing it happen. Where now everything works with everything.
There's a merging of futures, which is nice. So that, and then they announced DirectX 12, which I am by no means a technology coding expert, but all I know about DirectX 12 is that it's going to be huge for PC gaming. It's going to free up resources, give you great, allow current systems to even produce better graphical power. Supposedly, it's going to help Xbox One a bit too because it's built to support DirectX 12. So the whole Microsoft Windows 10 thing was just a really cool conference. And they could have ended it right there, and it seemed like they were going to end it right there. But then they came out with this, like, they're like holograms, and they're like talking about holograms, and you're like, what? Like, we know that holograms don't exist. And they're talking about how they solved hologram problems, and they really did. Not to the point of Star Wars where, like, a hologram just appears on a table. But they've invented these glasses in secret, which is incredible that, like, nobody's heard about this until they announced it. They invented these glasses that you put on, and the glasses analyze your environment, and it puts holograms for different things. So you could be looking at your wall, and it'll put icons for music, right? Or you could be looking at the table, and it'll put an icon of a person, like, or a hologram of a person. So they're bridging, the way they're describing it is they're bridging the gap between, like, an Oculus, which is all digital, right? And it's, like, not quite there in terms of latency, and people could get kind of sick from the motion, to putting stuff that you're used to, which is just seeing, right, through a clear lens, but merging that so that you actually have these things pop up. It's like fucking Iron Man. It's like Tony Stark, like,
yeah,
shit.
That's exactly
like
what
Jarvis.
it is. Yeah, it's Jarvis.
But what's cool is that Xbox One streaming technology will work to the HoloLens. So we're in Back to the Future 2 when fucking Marty McFly is got those glasses on and he's watching TV through his glasses and he's playing video games. It's gonna happen now.
Yeah,
it's really happening.
It's getting very close.
It's the future.
Yeah, it's getting very close. I love that idea of the HoloLens.
Man.
I mean, I just watched that movie. Michelle, my wife, and I just watched that movie, Her, with Joaquin Phoenix, where he falls in love with his operating system.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, we were both watching it like, there's no way an operating system would do this. Like, we're like picking it apart, and I was like, this is a movie. Like, yes, I agree.
But
this
it's
can't
happening.
happen. Yeah, there was a lot of cyber sex in that movie. Good Lord. A lot of sex with digital things. It was crazy.
Good Lord.
But they do show him playing video games where it's all a hologram. It's all projected in his room in front of him in 3D. And I looked at that and I was like, that's not that unrealistic. No. That's not really that
it's
far
happening.
off. Yeah.
So big things coming from Windows 10 and Microsoft, and it's good that Microsoft's making money. So, like, the whole point of their financial update was that they're making money. They made like $26 billion something. So they're making money, You know, Xbox is part of that umbrella, which is good. So they have the support. Xbox has lowered the price. Even, you know, they did it for a limited time for the holidays. Now they've continued at the lower price. They're starting to make some traction now with getting games that people want to buy for it. You know, Sunset Overdrive, stuff like that. So I think we're seeing some good momentum for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's still not what I would say buy that over PlayStation 4 if somebody was trying to get between the two. It's still a better value right now for PlayStation 4, but it's a compelling argument now.
Now, is it something that would draw you back? Now, since you've gone fully to the PC side almost,
Yeah.
is this stuff that makes you excited about having an Xbox One?
This James and I were talking about. We said this is what we made this decision for. Like, because we knew Microsoft had software support, and we knew that they had when you looked at the Xbox 360 over the generation, how it changed so much.
Oh God, yeah.
We knew that we were investing in something that was a little more future-proof, and I know that's like a dumb word in the tech world, but we knew that the Xbox One and being backed by Microsoft was going to have all these cool like gadget things to it, and all these plans. So I never doubted that. This totally gets me excited. I'm like, okay, I made the right purchase. Like, I bought something that's going to have the support of all these creative new products and services, and
it's certainly more visible on the Microsoft side too. I mean, that sort of thing can go on in the Sony world, in the PlayStation world, but it's not. You don't see it really, and you don't see the evolution of a PlayStation system really. You see it in hardware revisions and the Slim, and that's kind of when you're like, oh, we got new stuff. They're doing stuff with the PlayStation, but with Microsoft, and when you look at the Xbox, like you said, the evolution of the Xbox 360, you look at it from where it started to where it ended, which it still hasn't ended, but where it's at now, it's a completely different system.
Unbelievable.
I mean, and its role in your entertainment center is completely different than what it really started out to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you see that with Xbox One, and knowing that, you know, the commitment that these companies make to what could possibly be the last generation of dedicated gaming consoles, you know, your word, like you said, future-proof, I think is much more applicable to an Xbox One, just because I feel better knowing that they are going to squeeze every last drop of functionality out of that hardware with a software solution going forward. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a hardware revision somewhere, you know, down the road. I'm sure, and same thing with PlayStation. There's already rumors of a PlayStation hardware, a new slim version of the PS4, but unconfirmed. It's just rumors. But I like that more on the Microsoft side of things. I feel comforted by that. Just knowing that I have this system and that there's people that are actively just trying to make it as good as possible, and that it's going to stay that way.
And it's going to evolve, and it's going to, so that part excites me. It doesn't, at this point though, there's nothing, like there's not a game coming out that I'm like, I'm going to play this on the Xbox. Like, this is what I bought the X, and that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah. Is I feel like I have all these games, which I'm totally happy for the computer, but there's all of those are also on the Xbox, so I don't need to play that on the Xbox. So,
and that goes
just what it is.
And that goes back to what we've said is a problem, is the lack of exclusives. Yeah. And I know there are some exclusives that exist, but they need big, exciting exclusives, like big ones, like really big things. Not some RPG that some people play, and I'm not trying to bash RPGs, but just some game.
They need to be like Mass Effect 4 is going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yes, exactly.
That would fucking light the world on fire.
Yeah, I mean, they need something like, they need to do that stuff. That's what they used to do back in the day. That was kind of what started the console wars. I mean, I know everybody wants to make money and they need to make their product available on every platform. That's fine, but I mean, geez, there is money to be made, I think, in exclusives. Yeah. I mean, Street Fighter V, I mean, look at that's exclusive to the Sony world and to PC. I mean, and that's nothing to laugh at. I mean, that's a big title. A big brand, for a lot of people, that is huge. So I think they need to go back to that. I don't know how they will do that.
Well, I think it's going to happen in maybe not this year, maybe at the end of this year, or maybe next year, when, like, we agree that both the PlayStation and the Xbox feel like they were put out just a little too early. Like, people were chomping in the bit for something new, but they were put out just a little too early because there wasn't enough support.
I think they did like field support, where they put the hardware out there, kind of worked out the bugs in real time, and then the software support came later with patches, and then games eventually came. So that's why that's why I was stuck playing Resogun for 6 months.
Right.
So
yeah. So same shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally happy with that. So we'll see at this fall when all this kind of comes to fruition and the streaming, how well it works. But like we said, game streaming is the future. It's happening.
It is. And if it's solid, if you can appease your devices and provide a safe, comfortable environment for them to work properly, you know, like the Shield is, and the Shield tablet was just so needed, just such a perfect set of circumstances to just run perfectly. If you can meet all those requirements, it's awesome. It's so much fun.
What is cool, what I was thinking about the whole streaming to the Windows 10 thing, because PlayStation does that now with the Vita, and I don't know how well it works. I've never, been able to test it, but this is kind of like a perfect example of how Microsoft knows that if it isn't being competitive in a certain area, that they'll do it, but they'll do it right.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, fine, you can stream to anything that has Windows 10 on it. It doesn't have to be a specific device. And the benefit is that you can have a much bigger screen than a Vita, So like, it just goes to show that if they have the time and the patience and the resources, they'll put out something better.
Absolutely.
And that's what's cool. So,
I have some personal experience with the PlayStation TV. I've seen it working in real time, and on the Vita it is a little bit laggy, but if you run it to a TV, because you're on that smaller screen, the lag just seems, it's a little bit more because the controls are not quite as fine because you're using the Vita controls, but on a TV, and when you have an actual DualShock 4 in your hands, it's a little bit more manageable.
Good.
It runs pretty damn good. I have watched someone play lots of Destiny on it, and it runs pretty good. It's certainly a functional option for people if they need to stream from their PS4 to wherever they are.
Yeah.
And I would certainly say that the environment the PlayStation TV is hooked up in is not the ideal internet environment. I mean, it's not a great connection, but it runs pretty good.
Nice.
So it's certainly, the game streaming is certainly, it's awesome.
Yeah,
and
it's the way.
Yeah, everything should go to that, and I like that Microsoft, like you said, is unifying everything, and that's game streaming. You bring it all together, that's perfect. That's the melting pot. That's what it needs.
Melting pot.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Good stuff.
Microsoft. Let's see how much we got. Like a minute. 10 minutes. Yeah. We got a retro recap for you. If you like the Planet Arbitrary Facebook page, you probably saw I posted a video on there about a week ago. The sexy girl game unpacking video.
It's so awkward.
It is the strangest thing. So if you go into Reddit, R Game Collecting, it's a great community. I highly recommend you join it. If you are a game collector, if you're into retro video games, you should join it. But someone recently posted a YouTube video called the Sexy Girl Unpacking Video. You can watch it right now on the Planet Arbitrary Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/Planet Arbitrary, it's there. This is a video of a guy that is at home. It's a home video, and he's in front of his game collection, which seems fairly large. And he made a video where he was showing some of the games that he had just picked up. And this guy is not, what I'd say, he's not Brad Pitt. He's not pleasing to the eye. So he had the idea of dressing up his wife in some, some lingerie, some sexy lingerie.
Not figure-flattering lingerie.
Yeah. I mean, beautiful woman. I'm sure she's great and everything. But, it's awkward. So he gets his wife to display the games that he has recently picked up, and he does this on video. And it's the creepiest, strangest thing. Annie, you watched it before we started.
I'm shaking my head because my favorite part is right at the very beginning, because he introduces his wife and is like, oh, she's in this sexy lingerie. It's like, ew, barf. No, she's not. And then he's like, okay, well, let's check out the first game. And she holds it up. And he's like, let's try holding it the right way. And it's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why are you having this idiot show these games?
Yeah.
She's holding it the wrong way. And he's like, let's try having it the right way this time. Stupid.
You can totally tell that she's not a game fan. Yeah, no. Why she indulges this man in this weird video and does this for him is beyond me. I mean, that's love.
Yeah,
that's love. I mean, that is a marriage you see on that video.
It's like, you're gonna be an internet sensation.
Yeah, but it is the creepiest thing. This woman is just, and he like zooms in on her ass, and like when she bends over, and like it's just
gross.
Just awkward.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross. Like it's one step away from really just seeing that guy like naked doing the doing the mangina, like doing the Buffalo Bill thing. Like,
that
would
would've
you
been an
fuck me?
interesting
I'd
video.
fuck me.
Yeah.
Like it's like 1 second away from going there.
That's what you should do. You should do the mangina on camera and just introduce all your video games.
Okay, so when you guys say mangina, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm going to need one of you to demonstrate right now.
I mean, well, I'm not going to demonstrate it, but
It's
important
where
that you
the man
demonstrate.
tucks his bits behind his legs, so it looks like he doesn't have a penis, and he just says.
Oh,
mangina.
okay. Well, then it would be inappropriate
Yeah.
if I asked Pat to do that.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
will you please demonstrate
I
for
revoke that.
it's painful. But you
And
know,
hilarious.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's totally where that video is going. I'm sure in his house there's a collection of creepy videos that
Oh,
are
yeah.
just like that, and he happens to collect video games as well. But it is the weirdest, creepiest video. So if you want to see the dark side of game collecting and what these guys are doing, I mean, the concept is great. He's definitely stumbled onto something that I think some future development should take place. I mean, some research should be done. I think given it in the right hands, it could be great, but not with this guy.
us. Child's hands.
And well, for God's sake, save this dude's wife. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, get her
It's
off.
just embarrassing for her.
Oh man, it's the worst. It is the
It's
worst.
just awkward.
So yeah, so you can watch that now if you like.
It's beautiful.
Also, the retro recap. I did pick up some stuff today. I went to Second and Charles. Joe, host of Game Classy, tipped me off to a large Atari lot that was there. Sent me some pictures and told me I should go check it out, and it looked pretty large.
Nice.
I went there today, and they had actually a pretty big lot of complete inbox mint, perfect, fresh out of the plastic condition
Unreal.
Game Gear games.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
It was
Where are these
amazing.
people hiding these at? You know.
Well, you know, collectors go in and they probably trade in chunks of their collection, if not their entire collection, to get money to buy something else or whatever, something that's just sitting around. You know, someone that bought stuff that they didn't get to play.
Right.
You know, they bought it purely for, you know, just to collect it. But, you know, there's a lot of Atari games that were there. There were a few that were in great condition. Some were not in so great condition. They were complete. You know, they had all the the insides and the packing materials and everything. But some of them, like there was the Indy 500 Atari game there, which came with 2 controllers that you could use to play that game. And it's a large, oversized box. But the inside was just chewed up and really rough. And if I were to buy that purely for the collecting part of it, I would want that particular game to be perfect.
Yeah.
The cables were all twisted up, and it was just, you could tell it's had a rough go of it. Now, there was a copy of Empire Strikes Back for Atari
I
2600
can't believe that.
that is in fantastic condition. So I picked that up. I mean, it's amazing. I also picked up Superman Special Edition for Atari 2600, which is also complete and in amazing condition. And then I also picked up some of the Game Gear games that were there. I picked up all the X-Men games that were there. 3 X-Men games, 2 of them that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I didn't know those when you showed the picture.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I picked up Incredible Hulk. So kind of a comic book Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, minus Superman, but
Right.
Close enough.
yeah. But yeah, a Marvel Comics lot of Game Gear games. It was great, and they're all as complete as could possibly be. I was actually most impressed with the Incredible Hulk for Game Gear because it was developed by US Gold, which is kind of a, I mean, they were a big developer back in the day, but kind of a weird, a generic almost kind of developer. They did like the other US Gold. They do a lot of sports games, a lot of Genesis games. My other US Gold title that I really like is Street Fighter 2 for Commodore, which is on cassette tape.
Nice.
So they do stuff like that and a lot of Commodore stuff. But when I opened up the Incredible Hulk, totally complete, completely mint condition, but it had the recyclable paper shell that the game laid in. It's a very bizarre shell that comes out.
Was it wait? That's a Game Gear one.
It's a Game Gear
Yeah, I
game,
think I
yeah, and
remember
it came
that.
in a little shell. Also had all the registration inserts and little mini catalogs, things like that. But the shell itself is just pristine.
That's awesome.
So I was just opening these things up, like, oh my god, like this is incredible.
Magic.
Like I've never been so excited about Game Gear games.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Oh, it was crazy. It was a great find over at Second and Charles.
Nice.
Which can be hit or miss.
Yeah,
Totally. Price wise.
People go to trade in shit, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll find some games that are just astronomically high, and you're like, you are out of your fucking mind if you think you're going to get that for that game. And then you find other games that are like, Jesus Christ, that's a steal.
Like that one, what was the 32X or whatever game that we found? That was like a mint condition. What was that one?
Oh, yeah.
Basketball game or
Yeah,
whatever it was?
Slam.
Something. Slam
Yeah,
City.
Slam City.
Yeah, something.
With Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. That's right.
Snotty dripping.
Snotty tripping.
Snotty dripping.
Good one.
Yeah, that was totally complete. That's the weird thing about that Second and Charles is pretty much most games that I've gotten from there are complete, like very good condition.
I know. I
and
wonder if it's like an
complete.
employee.
I don't know, or they have a very
The owner.
strict rule on what they'll accept
Yeah.
or what they'll put out on the floor. I mean, there's a lot of loose cartridges there.
Yeah.
And a lot of games that are in plastic baggies and stuff like that. A lot of accessories in plastic baggies,
Garbage,
but
yeah.
there is a good chunk of stuff that's totally complete and
In the glass case.
yeah, in the glass case. I mean, I found Incredible Hulk out on the main floor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was
Interesting.
kind of looking around. I was like, this has to be. And I even asked the guy. I was like, did this all come from one guy? And he's like, yeah, this was some guy just came in and traded it all in. It was the Atari games and the Game Gear stuff. There's still, if you are in the Naperville area and want to go to Second and Charles, some of the Game Gear stuff is still there. I didn't clean it out.
Damn.
So Alien 3 is there, which is kind of a tough one
good
to find.
side-scroller.
Yeah. So that's still there if you want to go pick it up. So yeah, it was a nice little game hunt. So, and now I'll be switching, usually I'm used to being my days off are in the middle of the week. I'm going to be moving to my days off on the weekends. So I was talking with you, Anthony, about
Pat will be building robots now.
So exciting.
Literally.
Yeah, I'll be dealing with some robots now. But meaning now that I'm not off in the middle of the week, I don't have the run of the game
Yeah.
shops anymore.
Yeah, you had the competitive edge on that.
For 10 years.
Wednesday morning, I'm just going to go to the game shop.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down at People Play Games in the city right when they open. I'd be the first person in there.
Not anymore.
No, I'll have to do the weekend
Fighting the
thing.
kids in the crowds.
Yeah, I've only had one awkward experience with a person buying games, another collector, and that was that filthy, nasty,
remember you telling that
dirty
story.
ass reseller
Yeah.
that was.
He's like, I call dibs on all this, right?
Yeah, that was at Goodwill. I've had some other awkward encounters with people that were clearly trying to pick out games and things like that. Even at Second and Charles, I mean, I've had people kind of hover around me. And the second I walk away, they immediately go over and pick up the things that I had picked up and put back down. So I've had that happen, a few times. But I'm looking forward to getting in the mix with the crowds. I hope to
Nice.
see them. I want to go to the flea market, which I've never been able to go
man.
to.
Oh my
Oh, you're
god.
going to love it.
Yeah.
I can't
We
wait to
love
take
the
ya.
flea market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to do that and kind of see the community.
Nice,
You know,
see the world.
Experience it from the way the other half does.
Love it. That's brilliant.
Yes.
So let's see. I think that's
it.
all I want to talk about. That's my last game find.
Hit it.
So let's see. That's going to do it for this episode 61 of the Play On podcast. Be sure to check out planetarbitrary.com for all your Planet Arbitrary needs. Be sure to listen to Game Classy with Joe and Steve every other Sunday on planetarbitrary.com. They talk all things tabletop gaming, bolt action, all the new tabletop Kickstarters. If you want to catch up on that stuff, they cover all of it. So anything tabletop related, that is your show. Be sure to check us out on iTunes. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. We'd appreciate it on iTunes. Also, you can find us on Stitcher Radio, along with Game Classy, and all the other podcasts that post on Planet Arbitrary show up on Stitcher. Be sure to check out funstock.co.uk.
Oh, our friends.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
friends at funstock.co.uk. They've got some new and exciting stuff coming out this year, so we'll be working with them this year and hope to have some exciting things from them.
Nice.
So be sure to check them out, and I believe our discount code, 5% off any online order at funstock.co.uk. Type in the discount code PLANET, and you'll get 5% off your order online. So be sure to
Yay.
use that.
Tell your moms.
Yeah, make sure your mom, if she orders anything off Funstock, uses your own discount code. Unlike my mom, that
classic Mrs. Pat.
made one purchase from the UK and did not use her own son's discount code.
Whoops.
Yeah. So thanks, Ma. Be sure to check out the Twitters. You can follow the podcast at PlayOnPodcast. You can follow me at Pat's Game Reviews. You can follow Anthony.
Snoogans to you.
And you can send Annie a letter.
Yep, you can. You can just give me like an emoticon on the
Send her some
Facebook or
stamps.
something.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Throw some emojis.
Emojis.
Want some emojis?
Is that what they're called?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Emoticons, emojis, whatever.
Emojis.
Cool. Yeah.
And then our friends, be sure to check out Reddit, our game collecting. It's a great, just like I had said earlier, great retro game collecting community. Very informative, very active. So if you have questions, if you have stuff you want to show, if you have questions about something you found, you can certainly find the answers for it there. And our friends at gamecollecting.net. Be sure to check out GameCollecting.net. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're going to be bringing back the Roundtable podcast, so be sure to check that out. And their Facebook group, the Game Collecting group, GameCollecting.net. They have a great, awesome Facebook group. You can buy and trade and sell on the group. It's very active, so I highly recommend you check it out. So, GameCollecting.net. And is there UGR Gaming? Be sure to check out UGR Gaming. Follow them on Twitch. Good Lord, their Twitch is exploding. They have an awesome Twitch stream for UGR Gaming, Gamer Chat Weekly. You can check that podcast out. But good Lord, check out Brandon Stennis on the Twitch. They are exploding over at UGR Gaming, so be sure to check them out. And that is there. I always miss something. Flipboard, the play
That's
on
the one you
Flipboard.
always miss.
That's the one I always miss.
Yep, the play on Flipboard. Anything we talk about, discuss, or find interesting in gaming, we put that on the Planet Arbitrary, or the Play On podcast Flipboard, so you can subscribe to that. And that's it?
That's
yeah,
it.
It's just a massive. It's a list.
Just go
It's
to
a list.
planetarbitrary.com, click the connect button, links to everything right there.
There
There you go.
Boom, you're welcome.
Done. All right. Till next time, guys.
Play on.
Play on.